It was the sport of the century. America's favorite pastime. The year is 1920, the beginning of one of the most romanticized eras in U.S. history. The smell of hot dogs and peanuts fill the air. Stadiums are full to capacity as people idolize their favorite players. Everybody's dream was to play baseball, to be the next Babe Ruth or Joe DiMaggio, to play at Wrigley Field or at Yankee Stadium. It gave everyone something to cheer for. Baseball had it all, except for integration. White face after white face, Americans watching a game, but not all Americans. Not black Americans. They have their own league just like they have their own bathrooms. If America loved baseball so much but couldn't even share the sport they cherished most, what were we destined for? Our course needed changing. Our country needed a new perspective. The turning point for baseball and for the civil rights movement came in the form of a man by the name of Jackie Robinson. Segregation was the accepted norm. People were not equal. Separate restaurants, different parts of the bus, unfair treatment.
1900s segregation was a widely accepted stance. It wasn't easy being a black person in America in the early 1900s, I can tell you that much.
These were all things African Americans had to endure. With only 2 movements having been started, it wasn't looking good for America. Luckily, there was something to distract us. Something that made everyone hopeful, no matter what color.
Baseball was king. Baseball was everything.
Basketball was coming around. Football still wasn't even a mainstream sport at this point. You have to remember that this was a country that was dominated by baseball, horse racing, and boxing.
The MLB, formed in 1869, is a strictly white league. Any black players must play in the Negro leagues. That's just how it was, and it was to stay that way forever. Until one man came to change that for the better.
He was a symbol. He was a torchbearer.
An icon in American history.
A pioneer of the sport of baseball.
Jackie Robinson was born as Jack Roosevelt Robinson in Cairo, Georgia in 1919, but moved to Pasadena, California shortly after birth.
This is a guy who was an All-American in 4 sports at UCLA.
While in his senior year at UCLA, he took a job as an assistant athletic director for the government's National Youth Administration. A few months later, they were shut down. So he pursued a career in football, joining an integrated semi-pro football team in Hawaii. After the season ended, he moved back to California to join semi-pro Los Angeles Bulldogs, but he never got the chance to join. He had been drafted into the military to help fight in World War II, which effectively ended his football career. After 2 years in the military and never seeing combat, he was acquitted and transferred to a camp in Kentucky to serve as a coach for the Army's athletics. During his time at the camp, he met a former player of the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro American League, who convinced him to write the owner for a tryout. In the meantime, he took a job as an athletic director at Sam Houston College. However, he was not there very long because he received a written offer for $400 a month to go play for the Kansas City Monarchs. He played well for the Monarchs but grew frustrated quickly. Robinson was used to a well-structured playing environment. The disorganization and gambling interest of the Negro League appalled him. This pushed him to pursue a major league career.
The success or failure that he might have had, and especially how he reacted personally and emotionally, could have made or broke the entire transition of allowing blacks in the game.
Major league teams had a serious interest in Robinson, especially the Brooklyn Dodgers. Branch Rickey, the president and GM of the Brooklyn Dodgers, met with Robinson to discuss his career.
That Branch Rickey told Jackie as a condition of playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers is that no matter what happens out there, Guys are going to throw at your head. They're going to try to spike you. They're going to say all these mean things about you. Don't fight back for like 3 years. Just take it all. Be stronger to hold back rather than feeling you have to be strong to fight back. You've got to set the example.
They came to an agreement of $600 a month, which sparked outrage from the Negro League players and MLB players.
I mentioned there was incredible prejudice, especially when you have a lot of ball players that were from areas where there was a lot of prejudice. And let's face it, back in those times, I mean, things were segregated.
In 1946, when he started for the Dodgers minor league team, he faced many problems. Games were canceled, stadiums had been padlocked because they didn't want Robinson playing there, and players threatened to go on strike. In 1947, Robinson made his major league debut in Ebbets Field.
His mere presence in Major League Baseball was said more than ever needed to be said.
The most supportive teammate Robinson had was Hall of Fame shortstop Pee Wee Reese. Reese told the press, "You can hate a man for many reasons. Color is not one of them."
The symbolism of a Pee Wee Reese, who was from Louisville, down in the South, putting his hand on Jackie's shoulder and just having him welcomed. I mean, if nothing else, just the body language of what went on there was humongous. If that didn't happen, you probably would have had a divided locker room. They probably already had a divided locker room to some extent.
Any controversy in the clubhouse was ended when Leo DeRocher addressed the team saying, "I am the manager of this team, and I say he plays. What's more, I say he can make all of us rich, and if any of you cannot use the money, I will see to it that you are all traded." The team really united together after a specific incident in a game against the Philadelphia Phillies. After a barrage of racial slurs, Robinson received the entire game. His teammates jumped to his defense and continued to every time he faced any slandering.
It's easy to look at it from the perspective that we do nowadays, but you can't do that. You have to see it for what they saw it.
When Jackie Robinson was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he said that he wanted to thank 3 people in his short induction speech. And one, of course, was his mom. Another one was his wife. But the other one was Branch Rickey, who really treated him as a son and he considered almost as his dad.
Robinson received many awards throughout his career and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1962 on his first ballot. Jackie Robinson died 10 years later on October 24, 1972, of a heart attack, and though he died, his legacy still lives on. There have been multiple movies made about him, including the most recent, 42. In 1997, every team in the MLB retired Jackie Robinson's number, making him the first player to ever have that honor. Every year on April 15th, the day he made his major league debut, all the current players wear the number 42 to honor him.
Jackie Robinson impacted that world in a way that probably very few others could have. And he positively changed American culture, not only in terms of entertainment, but in terms of the culture as a whole. And he focused our attention as a nation upon these issues that we needed to deal with. Jackie Robinson is probably one of the most significant baseball players ever to play in the major leagues in the United States. But he's much more than that.
Jackie Robinson meant to baseball. I don't know if Jackie Robinson meant more to baseball or if Jackie Robinson meant more to America. What Jackie Robinson did for the game of baseball can't be measured on a stat sheet.
Not only was he a great player, a Hall of Fame player, but he was probably a bigger human being.